All right, it's not morning, but welcome to the video, guys. It's Nick with NK Landscaping, again as usual. And if you watched last week's video, which I'll link down below, you'll see the start of this patio and getting it to this point. But we went on vacation, and we're back now. You can see I'm a little more tan. Steph is more tan as well. Vacation was a little interesting this year. We go to Lake George every single year. I have another video on that as well, if you want to check that out. But during our stay, we had a tornado hit on the lake. We were not expecting that. They kind of called for a thunderstorm, and that quickly turned into a tornado, and we ended up having to hide under our picnic table out on the islands where we camp, and it basically destroyed our whole entire campsite, including my family's and everything. So if you stick around to the end, I will put a bunch of videos and pictures up showing that, but otherwise, enjoy the rest of the video of getting this patio finished and wrapped up. I think it turned out really well. And thanks. All right, good morning, guys. We are on day number, I don't even know how many. We got Kurt here, and we have my brother working for us. So he's a longtime employee. We brought him back part-time on this job. He actually has another job, so he's gonna be working basically a half day for the rest of this project. We got our pipes set over there. We're gonna throw some 1/4 inch down on top of that. That's our leveling layer. So I have the excavator up here by the trailer. I'm gonna load Dan in the skid steer. He'll bring it down and put some piles in. We also have those concrete footings in place that we need to watch out for. So Kurt's taking a 5-gallon bucket, putting them on top of the footings, and then we'll just backfill around those. So when it's time for the contractor to put the posts in, it's right there, nice and easy for him. All right, so now that he has a loaded bucket, I'm gonna walk him through exactly what we're doing, but he's going to place a big scoop basically right here. So that's nearly an excavator width away from our screed rods. And he's just gonna put, I don't know, 3-4 buckets worth, enough to do this section, so maybe a little more. Then I'll bring the excavator down and I'll actually transfer this over onto our screed rod so we can set grade. So we're only gonna work on this section right now since we need to do a wall, but let's do it. Nice and easy, just like that. Cool, so now we're just gonna repeat that process a few more times, and then we can actually start getting the base in place. All right, so while me and Dan were moving gravel, Kurt basically got these pipes leveled out the best he can. So these are called screed rods, and they basically give you a flat plane to ride your screed rake across to give yourself a perfectly flat base. Makes for very easy laying. So I guess he's not fully done, but I have the excavator over here now. I'm basically gonna scoop from the big master pile of 1/4 inch, and I'm gonna spread gravel over this, and we'll get it all raked out to grade, and that'll allow us to start laying our wall over here. So we've got our area screeded. Now we screeded out this whole huge area, but we're not dealing with most of this right now. We're gonna leave in the longer screed pipes on that side, but we'll pull these because we need to start putting our wall in. We're gonna do a tight radius to meet grade over there, and basically whatever this wall is, we're gonna mimic on that side. So once the wall goes in, at least the first course, then we can start laying pavers enough so we can walk, and that should really kick off the building process. All right, you can see we have a nice Unilock Concord wall in place. Now for those of you asking, yes, this wall is sloped. It's not a problem when it's not a structural wall like this. We're holding back a very small amount of soil, and it's just going to match the patio base. But in a case where this was structural, this wall would be built separately on a different base than the pavers. But we're not doing that. So we're starting here. We have Unilock Holland. So that's the smaller bricks. This is going to be our border course. It's called a soldier course. So this will go around and basically encapsulate the patio. And then this is Unilock Beacon Hill. That's what the main patio is going to be. So Kurt's going to get started setting up the Holland edge. And then we have the vacuum here to lay down the actual Beacon Hill paver. So once he gets an edge in, we can start building and should start taking shape pretty quickly here. All right, guys, I apologize for the lack of filming today. We just wanted to get some stuff done since it is the first day of laying, at least. But that's what we got done. It's basically almost a 16 by 16 square of patio here. So we have our soldier course. She opted to do the same color soldier course, but we have that. We have our cuts, and here to the corner. So the wall is basically done except for coping. And that paint mark, or about where the patio ends, is about our 16 feet. So that's actually going to get chopped so we can put our soldier course around the outside. Tomorrow should be smooth sailing because it's just a straight shot now. We don't have to build any walls or work around. Once we get past that footing, it's just straight shot 40 feet that way. So yeah, we're going to go unload the rest of the 1/4 inch just so that we can bring in a little more tomorrow. And then otherwise we are done for today. So I'll see you tomorrow and we'll get right back to work here. So things are coming along really nicely. I was just able to reach this pallet as far as I could out here. You know, my track touches that pallet, so that's nearly full extension, 3 rows of pavers. Kurt is just hammering away with the vacuum. That thing has come in a real handy on this project. It just makes it so you can pick up so many more pavers so quickly. You take all that weight off of your back. You don't have to bend over anymore. But as you can see, we've got 4 more rows worth of paver screed rods done. So it's just smooth sailing. So I'm gonna get to laying with them, and this is awesome. This is going good now. Got a lot of this patio laid already. It's been going really smooth. You may have seen in the time lapse we had to do a little digging of the sub base. The 3/4 was just a little high, and I think that's going to be the case for this area. So we're going to clean up all this, dig the sub base down to proper grade, and then we will be able to go all the way to where the wall is going to get installed. I think we need to do a little bit of digging on that far corner where the wall is going to be, just because that radius ended up being a little tighter, and we're going to match that same exact radius over here. So we're going to do a bit of cleaning up and back to work. All right, guys, check it out. It's not done. We got almost as far as we wanted to today. We wanted to get to where the wall would tie in, but Kurt's been the one picking up nearly every single paver, and he got tapped out, and it's already late enough as is, so.
We'll be able to get that done real quick tomorrow morning.
Yeah, no, that'll be real quick. Even the wall, because now the whole base is done, and we're, instead of working out from the wall and walking all over our 1/4 inch, we are working on a solid surface onto the wall. It helps a lot. We left ourselves a little bit of 1/4 inch for tomorrow. We're taking home what's left in the trailer today, and I think we have one more pallet of Beacon Hill left, which should be more than enough, so we'll see you tomorrow. All right, good morning. It's wet. You may notice we have a different truck with us today. We left this trailer and the other Chevy here overnight. My truck's having emissions issues, and it has put me in the old death countdown to I got 150 miles before I can do only 5 miles an hour. So we're going to use those miles very sparingly until we try to fix that problem. But we got another pallet of Concord to finish up the wall over here, some perma edge for the edging, and that's about it. So we're gonna get our tent set up down there and get to work. All right, guys, so we are at about 36 feet of inner dimension. We did the math a little weird. It wasn't 40 truly on the inner, because the walls actually got a little bit more pushed out because of that tight radius. So each wall from the inside to the outside face of the wall is 7 foot of distance. That's our 50-foot mark right there. So if we start our wall radius here and it wraps out mimicking that one over there, it's going to hit our 50-foot mark on the outside. So that was the dimension that we're really actually trying to hit, the 50 foot of that little cube that'll come out to here. That'll also help with our grade adjustment. So at this point we got to pull these rods. Kurt's going to lay our Holland border, and then we're going to start building our wall with that tight radius out to there. So that's all extra, but that's fine. That'll be good for a lot of this backfill dirt and help us with our grade adjustment. So let's start laying some wall and pavers. Rain is coming down. This is a blessing. I've been making cuts under here, and it's like I don't even know it's raining. We're making good progress. It just so happened that the wall height lined up so that that second course can actually sit on that foundation bump out. I had to chisel away a little excess concrete with the SDS. That worked good. We're building the second row of the wall, and then instead of bumping out the soldier course here, we're just ending up cutting those bricks for this last little, that's like a 4-foot section. It would look weird if we had a step in right there and a jagged corner. So we'll just cut that for continuity. And then I gotta hop on the demo saw, and I'm actually gonna have to get out in the rain, make some cuts because I can't cut curves on this saw. But yeah, we're making good progress, staying dry, and getting it built. Kurt's coming for his nice new block.
Excited.
He's excited. Check it out, guys. Patio is built. Wall is built. So this one, since it's so wet, we can't glue anything. So everything's just dry laid. We don't glue the main blocks, but all the corners need to get glued, and then the coping needs to get glued. So this last little bit's gonna have to get pulled apart once it dries out. We did a little bit of cleanup. You'll notice the lack of pallets and junk. Whatever we don't use as backfill, Kurt's gonna be taken back to his house. He needs some fill. Same with the bricks. Otherwise, we are working on coping now, so we basically want to get as far as we can today with the cuts and everything. So the only thing left will be poly sand, perma edge, and then just finishing up around these. We still have an idea of what we're going to do around this just temporarily until the contractors are done building the deck, because we need to get this thing locked in place with the poly sand and the perma edge. So we're probably going to fill that with some smaller bricks just as a placeholder. But all right, good morning, everybody. This is, I don't know what day.
Day 10.
Day 10? Day 10, Friday. Last day before the finishing day, which will be Monday. It rained all yesterday, so we lost that day. And everything is pretty wet. as you can see by the patio. We just spent about the last hour drying things out with the blowers, mainly the walls, since we're going to be doing glue. The glue says you can do it wet. We don't trust that. You're always going to get a better job if you glue dry. So we got to glue our coping. We got to glue a couple corners and then just coping over there. Dan's going down the line, aligning the bond line of our soldier course. So we had the string line set up. Once that's done and the walls are done, it's going to be onto poly and perma edge, and then we'll compact it and get the patio completely settled in today. Everything is glued. We've got perma edge all the way around the outside. We've got all our bricks aligned. We did a walk a couple times. Kurt actually found a couple of pavers that weren't suitable, either with chipped edges or cracks. So every paver has been looked over multiple times, and it's time for poly sand. So we got a bunch of bags right there, about 1,000 pounds worth of it. Probably not going to use all of it, but we're going to get that in place. We're just going to go kind of close to the footings. I want to get that soldier course locked in place with poly sand, and then we'll run the compactor over it, settle it all down, and lock it in with some water. The majority of the poly sand has been swept in, so you gotta, these tray, am I saying it? It's not Treo, it's Holland. I do that every time. The border stones are Holland. They have smaller gaps, so they are a little more finicky to get them to take the full amount of poly sand, but the whole main patio has been coated, and I'm about to rip around on the plate compactor with the rubber base so it doesn't, you know, scratch up the pavers too bad, and then that'll settle most of this down in, and it levels out the blocks with each other even more than they are so far. So it's about to get real dusty. Got my ear protection. Let's get to it. How's it going, guys? Last day. I've lost complete track of total days on this job. I think we're at like 11 or something. We're back with the gooseneck to haul out the equipment. Kurt's got the dump truck because we're going to be hauling out some tailings and stuff, but we need to do the final dirt work on the site, and that's it until we come back, of course, to fix around the deck install. But let's get on down on the site, get the machines warmed up, and get to work. All right, guys, we are loaded up. I'm not going to show you the finished product until the deck is built and we get our last cuts in. I guess I'll keep the surprise for you. But we're going to go take this rig over to Kurt's house because that's where all of the material got dumped. I got to spread all that out for him. And then we're on to a new project until the deck gets built. So I'll see you then. Check it out, guys. We're back on the job here. Don't worry, I'll show you the finished product in a minute, but we got to get our cuts made for around the footings here. So they put in 6x6 posts, so we'll just make our few cuts around there, and then the only thing we have to do aside from that is on the back of this wall. We're going to put in a faced Concord block, so basically another corner, just so it looks a little more finished than that hole there. So let's get to work here. All right, guys, you ready? Not too bad. We even got a little bit of grass growing. Hopefully you can hear me over the wind. But we are done. We are done here.